Hey everybody, welcome to Whozer Adventures. My name's Jim, and we're going to do some kind of fun today. So a lot of the lakes that I go fishing at are quite a distance from my home. So typically, I try to make at least a 2-day trip out of it. And it can get expensive out there, if you're staying at Airbnbs or hotels and stuff. So one of the things that I still enjoy doing, even at my age, at 60 years old, is I still enjoy camping. And that's something Rebecca and I enjoy doing together also. So obviously, when you get to a certain age, putting up some of these tents and stuff can be, pretty strenuous, as you get older and stuff. So, we've been looking for something that, was a lot more easier for us to handle and stuff. And one of the things I come up with is this inflatable tent. Now, there's a ton of them out there on the market. So how do you know which one is a good one and which one isn't a good one? And basically it comes down to a handful of things. One of them is the type of material, okay? And we'll talk about that. And how it's stitched together. How good is it sewed? Zipper quality. These are inflatable tents. So, all of that is part of the sealing of how it maintains the air and stuff. And I came across the tent the other day, and mind you, again, full disclosure, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not looking to get sponsored by anybody. So anything that I show you on the channel is, a very honest, fair review, okay? I'm not looking to promote somebody's product that's not very good. But I purchased a tent off of Amazon, and I'll put a link to it down there in the description. And here's a picture of what it looks like, okay? I chose this tent because of all of those factors. One, it's small, but not too small. It's not heavy. Some of those inflatable tents, especially if you get the big cabin-sized tents, you're talking 100, 150 pounds, okay? This one is roughly, in this bag is like, 16, 17 pounds, okay? So real easy to manage, real easy to pack in the truck and take it with me, okay? And then what I liked about this one was it's self-inflating, okay? So it comes with a lithium battery little compressor that you put into the tent. And again, I'll throw up a picture here. Basically you can use a USB port to charge it. Once it's fully charged, they say that you can put this tent up 2 or 3 times before you have to even recharge it again. So that kind of appealed to me a little bit. So I have not camped in it yet though. So in fact, I just got this yesterday. And I thought, you know what? I think this would be a great opportunity just to set it up here in the garage. I would do it outside, but it's so windy right now. I'm afraid you wouldn't hardly be able to hear me as I talk about this. So a couple things I wanted to go over. So the brand is Yoking, Y-O-K-I-N-G. That's the manufacturer. The center of this tent is about 5'7". I'm 5'9", so yeah, I would touch, okay? But again, for what I'm doing, this is perfectly fine for me, because basically all I'm doing is resting my eyes maybe for a night or two, okay? I've got some stats here on it because I wanted to make sure I was telling you right. This does have a really good rating on Amazon. It's a 4.7, okay? And from all the reviews I read and stuff, it really, it sounded like something that was worth a try. Now this tent's going to roughly cost you around $240 somewhere about at the time I'm shooting this video. So let's see, it's a 4-person and it is a 4-season tent, okay, which is good for me because, you know, there's times I fish clear up into November on the lakes and stuff, and there's, you know, we try to get out there as early as possible. So, you know, we're out there fishing in, you know, early March. You know, obviously if the ice is off the lakes and stuff. So the fact that it's 4-season, can be heated and maintained, says a lot. It does come with a lithium-ion battery pack for being able to charge. It's got your pegs, so you can have your little awning out front if you like. It's got your ropes and the poles to be able to do that. Let's see. They claim that you can put this tent will self-inflate in about 2 minutes, which is great for me because even though I love camping, and I probably can speak for a lot of us, the last thing you want to do is be spending a lot of time setting up tents and stuff. I'm trying to get out on the water, and you know, if you look at how this tent deflates, it deflates rather quickly, so you can pack everything up and, you know, not be spending a whole lot of time doing it. So it's made of the Oxford cloth, and that Oxford cloth is known to be extremely waterproof, extremely durable, and, you know, again, it's just a good quality material. So when you're looking at buying these inflatables, look at the material that it's made out of, okay? Because that's important, if you know, because you don't want a bunch of moisture inside of the tent. Let's see. Inflates in about 2 minutes. It's about 47.92 square feet of floor space. So when I'm by myself and I'm fishing, you know, basically I got a camping cot with an air mattress on it. I've got my Jackery solar generator with me, so, you know, I can be charging my boat batteries, and at the same time, you know, I can have lights on in the tent, you know, charging, you know, my iPad, my cell phone, whatever. So 47.92, 48 square foot floor space is perfect for me. The other side of this is heating this should be relatively easy. You can use a Mr. Buddy heater or whatever. You can, you know, there's multiple ways you can heat these, electric heaters or whatever, if you have the power source. So fairly easy, and just the opposite in the summertime, keeping it cool is much easier too. The only thing that I would probably add to this tent is I would get a tarp to lay down on the ground, stake it down, and then build the tent on top of the tarp. It's just going to help protect the floor from any punctures, from anything that may be there on the ground that you didn't see or whatever. And then maybe a tarp that goes up over the top of the tent as a whole, as a rain shield and sun shield from all the UV and stuff, which helps keep the tent either warm or cooler. So this tent is roughly, we'll just call it 7 foot by 7 foot, figure 48 square foot floor space, and roughly 5'7" in the center. So with that being said, let me get things out, and we'll start putting this thing together and see how it does. Be back with you in just a second. So here's what comes with your tent. Now, when the tent arrived, it was double boxed, and then the tent was in this nice carrying bag. Okay, this is your lithium battery pump that pumps it up. and it charges from this end right here, okay? It has an indicator light right here. And then we've got our poles for our little awning that can go out front. The camping stakes appear to be very durable. You know, not those flimsy ones that you get with most tents. These are a little bit more higher gauge of pole, and then your ropes for your poles here, and obviously then for your tent when we set it up, and then of course your tent. Now your tent also has the straps that go around it to help keep it folded up and stuff. So we're going to try to set this thing up and see how it does, and kind of time it a little bit and just see how long it takes it to set up. So be back with you in just a second. Let's get the tent out and kind of get it spread out, and we'll start setting this bad boy up, see what it does. Okay, so I've got the tent all laid out, and I went ahead and I staked all four corners because the wind's gusting about 20 miles an hour out here today. It's probably sustained between 10 and 15 miles an hour. Here's your port to put your inflator in, and then this valve is here. You want to make sure it's closed so that it can air up. That's where we're going to deflate the tent. And so now we're ready to put in our inflator and see what it does. Be right back. Okay, so we're ready to put in our deflator here. Hit our go button. So there's a little button right here. You're on and off for this. And it's coming up. Now this will automatically shut off when it gets to the right PSI. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. Really impressive. Now I don't have the stakes all the way down pushed into the ground. I just wanted to do this as a test here. But as you can tell, even in this wind, that's pretty amazing. And it does have the vents up here, so you can vent this by putting this up, which is Velcro. There you go, just like that. So well vented, it's shut off already. And there you go. I'd say, and you can tell by how windy it is, guys. And if I can do this by myself and do it a minute and a half, I don't think you can ask for much more than that. And going inside, you know, there is a ton of room, you know, for definitely for one person. Zippers seem to be very nice. Windows seem to be really nice. Zippers on both sides. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. Plenty of room in here for a camping cot. You know, now obviously if you're a very tall person, you may want to go diagonal with it, but it still gives you plenty of room, oodles of room, you know. Now, a family of 4, I would say that'd be pretty snug for a family of 4, to be quite truthful and honest with you. I mean, one big air mattress in there, queen size air mattress, that's going to fill it up for sure. But that's pretty impressive. And then of course, this is your awning that you can put out, you know, like this. Here's where your poles go. So if you wanted something or to sit under, and outside of that, it can roll up right here. With these, it just rolls up and holds it. But yeah, and then of course it's got all your and believe it or not, I don't have any of this hooked up. I mean, you know, to keep it from blowing in the wind, and it's still it's doing really well. Be quite truthful and honest with you. Now again, I did put the stakes in around the bottom, obviously. But yeah, awesome little tent, to be honest with you, I think. You know, some of the really good inflatable cabin tents, you know, that are out there, the good ones are going to cost you, you know, $1,500, $2,000. Now, grant you can sleep, you know, quite a few people in those. But the ease of putting this up was what I was after. So, and the stitching's all real nice on it. Double stitched, overlaid all the way around. No loose threads anywhere. Good material. I would still probably put a tarp over it to, you know, ensure that moisture's not getting through it and stuff. And it's going to help it last a lot longer. So let's see how long it takes for it to deflate. So you have this valve right here. Well, I got news for you. That's quick. And it's down. So there you go, guys. I mean, if you're looking for a 1 or 2 guy tent for a fishing trip, I think so far I really like it, and I can't wait to take it out and use it, to be honest with you. Now obviously I'll give a yearly review on it. We'll use it all year long, probably at least a half a dozen, if not a dozen times, and see how it holds up and stuff. But from where I'm sitting, this is pretty good quality. Now I will tell you, obviously, you know, we got Remy and River, so one of the things that I would do on the floor of this tent is I take a carpet, outdoor carpet, and I would have it with me if I have the dogs. That way, you know, their claws aren't digging into the floor if they're out there with me. But yeah, do I think Rebecca and I could be comfortable in this? Yeah, absolutely. You know, not a ton of extra room or anything, but you know, you really, you know, if you're just camping for a couple days on a fishing trip, you don't really need much more than that. You're just, most of your time is spent on the water, fishing and stuff, so out on the boat. So evenings are, you know, up here at the campsite, sitting around a fire, eating some dinner, and then you know, getting some sleep. So pretty awesome. I like it so far. First test, pretty impressive. So let me know down in the comments if you got any questions. And you know, obviously I'll do my best to answer them. I'll put a link to the tent in the description if you're interested in one. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not looking to get sponsored by anybody. I'm just trying to kind of fill the void of you know, what I do out here when I'm fishing and stuff. And you know, if we have the opportunity to come to your neck of the woods and go fishing with you, we have an avenue where we've got a place to stay, and it's very inexpensive, to be honest with you. I can spend $250 in a month on hotels and motels and Airbnbs out there fishing. So setting this up took, I'd say, less than 2 minutes, to be honest with you. Even in this wind, it was less than 2 minutes. So very, very impressive. So with that being said, guys, if you liked the video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on it. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a ton, and it costs you nothing. And if you're inclined, hit that subscription button. We sure appreciate that very much so too. We're trying to build the channel up and do a lot more of this kind of stuff, and obviously it's important for us to involve our subscribers and stuff as being part of our channel and stuff. So, and then hit that notification bell so you know when we're uploading stuff. We've got a lot more camping videos, a lot more cooking, outdoor cooking. We got a lot of great things coming up. You know, the spring has just got started. Summer's on its way eventually. So we've got a lot of great content coming up. So I hope you all enjoyed this very much, and look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Till then, thanks everybody, and please be kind.